Now we will start the game. 2, 1, begin. I'm going to be sending you guys various things as part of the first packet of chess lessons that are included in your membership with your first payment of getting the chess book and these lessons. Okay, so this is a game played between some top players, and it is really encouraging for the rest of us. But I mean, this is a really big oversight. I really can't believe that this great player, I'm not giving any names just yet, I will after. So here we go. So the game starts out with e4, c5. We have a e4, c5. We have a Sicilian. I always look at Sicilians because I like playing c5. Knight to f3, knight to c6. It's some variation. Notice that these are all very good developing moves. I'm going to do another video. I'm still working on how to play the chess opening without knowing the opening. Okay, bishop attacks the knight, queen defends, but also defends the e5 square. The opening is all about these center squares, right? Okay, now this is a silly move that I do when I'm playing Blitz, but this is a slow game. I mean, really, this is classic time controls, and I can't believe this player did this. I mean, if he didn't have this as home prep, and it's clearly he didn't, I'm going to go back and look at how long it took him at the key move here. But, you know, he's violating a principle, right? He's moving the same piece twice. And white ignores it and continues to develop. And I usually pop the bishop. At least I get the bishop pair. But he challenges the bishop, moves him back. And again, another piece. 2 violations here of the same violation. And what is the threat? Aha. Do you see the threat? Knight takes knight. Queen takes pawn. Checkmate. So how does he handle it? He blocks it. He blocks the queen's path. And this allows knight takes anyway. Queen takes. And knight takes pawn. So he wins a pawn. But at what cost? I'm guessing this part at least is home prep. So now the queen runs. 2 attackers, gang attack on the knight. Knight runs. Knight attacks the queen. Power move number 2. Queen attacks the knight, but without tempo because it's already defended. And he's also giving more defense to the e7 pawn. With force, pawn to d4, challenging this pawn, and allowing the bishop to come out. Pawn takes. There's a little threat here. If he had not taken it and allowed the pawn to take, I might be able to look at this. Let's see. I'm not sure if I can break this. Oh yeah, because it's black to move. Let's say he does something else like this, for example. And then pawn takes with tempo attacking the queen. Now if the queen takes, oh, the queen is still defended. All right, I take that back. Okay. Let's forget that. Let's see. He just took it. Yep. Let me go back. How do I get back to the main line? Let me expand this for a second. Let's see if I can do this. Yes. And we get back to c takes. C takes. Okay. Now the bishop comes out to d2. And I can't believe that he overlooked this. Well, that's giving you too much of a hint now. But I would like you to this is very, very instructive as it relates to peace networking, otherwise known as peace coordination. And our almost 2,800 player, I think. No, not 28. He's 27 something. Overlooked. Clearly, he overlooked this. Unless he was just way overconfident, but he shouldn't have been, because his opponent is a very top player as well. So this is what black played. Okay, he wants to chase the knight out. But this does not quite work, right? Because of the pin. Queen can't take, queen takes, pin. Pawn can't take, pin. This gives gives white another move. And that's really critical when you're moving around the board, is to ask, is my move really a forcing move? Because if it isn't, your opponent can steal the initiative. Remember, that's the most important thing in most games. So what's your move now as white? Because you do have an extra move now. You do not have to move the knight. And this also is a good example of something for which a word really doesn't exist in chess, which is, it really is a form of preparation, but it's moving forward for a greater build-up, for a greater attack. Okay, so think about this for a second. What would you play as white here? So pause the video. Okay, I'm going to give you a chance to pause the video. And then, okay, let's start up. So, piece coordination. I'm telling you, in between moves and piece coordination, when you're maneuvering around the board, that is the key to improving your chess immediately. And it's what grandmasters are using all of the time to outplay their opponent. Outplaying your opponent is the key thing. I'm going to be throwing in some of these ideas about playing your opponent, because we are going to cover this. I'm going to make a video on some of the main strategic things. There are about 12 main ones, and I think there are subcategories of strategic ideas within those categories, which I can make videos on, which I plan to do. But we have to always be looking at more tactical, immediate things, which is how to outplay your opponent. And we'll get into that as well. So right here, white plays. He coordinates with the knight because he has time. He plays bishop to a5. And now this is devastating. Yeah, the knight coming with check to win the rook. And there's no way to stop it. Yeah, if he moves the rook now, the bishop can fork the queen, chase the queen out. Actually, boy, does that lose the queen? Boom, boom, boom. That's even a threat to lose the queen. No, the queen can come here. Okay, so, yes, this is the lesser of evils. So now, bishop takes, wins a pawn. Knight slides over to attack the queen, to try to get the queen off of this line so the knight can be taken. And he throws in, let's see, wait a second here. Why can't he play knight takes now? Checkmate. Haha, look at this. There's a checkmate here. So if queen takes, or if rather knight takes, queen slides here for checkmate. Wow. So bishop attacks the queen, stops the mate. Knight takes, and he wins a piece here. Queen takes bishop, and now the knight takes the bishop, attacking the queen. That's the reason this worked. So this is, again, calculation and outplaying your opponent with better calculation having to do with tempo. So he attacks the bishop, attacking the queen, and rook takes, and queen takes knight, and now he's up a piece. And I tell you, you know what? There's another exercise. And I think it would be a very good exercise. I sent you the link to the chess tempo tactical exercise that you find tactics with power moves. It's the fastest way to improve and understand how to find tactics. But I'm going to give you a link to something else where you're going to be able to set up positions and play positions out. And this would be a very good exercise to play this out as white now and try to beat black. We have 6 pawns against 5, 6, 7. And that's all. It's only up a pawn. So, yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you what piece coordination can do and how encouraging this is, because this is a top player who overlooked this piece coordination clearly. And that's that. And then I will shortly send you a link on how to set up positions. You're going to be able to play the computer at different levels of strength. Because technique now, what they say about it's all a matter of technique is very important to improve. If you can't drive home an advantage, well, then there's no point to anything else, right? To learning more. So I hope this helped, and I will get back to you shortly.